Properties, device, Yeti, okay. All right, so now the sound is working. Welcome to the High Altitude Investing live stream. Today is May 5th, or May 22nd of 2018, and we're going to be going over Bitcoin, going over some altcoins. I know that my weekly videos now are from start to TA finished videos. But this week we are doing a live stream just due to the general excitement in the markets and the direction. So I just want to keep people updated and posted. And again, we do Bitcoin at the start and then altcoin requests towards the end. And if you stay till the very end, I can give you a discount on the VIP. So make sure that you stay for that. So looks like we got everybody tuning in. Awesome, 24 people watching. So that's good enough to start getting going on this. Yeah, sorry about the sound at the very start there. I haven't plugged this microphone into this computer for a stream in a few months, so I had to adjust the setting really quick, but looks like we're going good. Hey, and thank you, man. I love to lift everybody up and help everybody understand the directions of the market and not really get so stressed about it, so I'm glad I can help you with that today. Okay, tradingview.com, our favorite website. Let me just drink a little bit of pink lemonade. Got to stay hydrated. I'm actually currently in Las Vegas. It's a desert out here, so you really got to make sure that you drink a lot of water and put chapstick on your mouth like 50 million times a day. And by the way, if anybody is from my channel is from Vegas, you should really email me, highaltitudeinvesting@gmail.com. I'm going to be out here for a few days, and I'd love to meet up with anybody that knows me from my channel. Just trying to make more connections and network with people. So if you feel like you want to meet up or talk with me, shoot me an email and we might be able to work something out like that. So, okay, let's do XBT USD. This is my favorite place to do technical analysis on Bitcoin. I used to use Bitstamp because it had the most price data. And then I also used to use Bitfinex because it was one of the highest volumes. But I found this to be the best as far as short-term price direction goes. You don't get the full chart because BitMEX hasn't been around for forever, but you do get quite a bit of the Bitcoin history chart. If you do want all of the Bitcoin history chart though, there's this thing called the Bitcoin Liquid Index. It's the Brave New Index. So let me just search Brave. Yeah, so it's called BLX as the ticker. This is just a little Easter egg or whatever you want to call it. Maybe that's not the right word, but just a secret little thing about Bitcoin you probably didn't know. Type in BLX. If you click on the BNC BLX chart on TradingView, whoa, this is bringing up a stock. That's not what I'm looking for. BLC. Brave New Liquid Index. Whoa, this keeps bringing up the stock chart. That's weird. I don't know why it's not working right now. I might have to start with the one right here, the normal dollar one, the BitMEX one. And again, the reason that I use BitMEX is because it's the highest leveraged Bitcoin exchange on the planet. So it basically controls where Bitcoin's going. Like whoever's taking a bunch of longs or shorts on this website, it's the quickest action. So all of the other exchanges are just a few seconds behind BitMEX, essentially. So, and the main reason for that is, again, it has the most liquidity, the most leverage. There's the most people on here taking margin positions and going long or short. So that's why I like to use this. Let's go to the 3-day. Let me just quickly see. And as you can see, yeah, this has only been around since 2017. So you don't get the entire price data for Bitcoin. You only get really since it was worth about $817 on. So that's a little bit less data than what you'd get on other exchanges. Let me see if I can get the Brave New Liquid Index to work this way. Okay, yeah, it worked this way. So I guess you just have to click on the XBT USD chart and then type in BLX as your ticker. And the reason that I do like the BLX chart is because it gives you all of the exchanges combined into one. So you get to look at Bitcoin from the price data of 1 penny on. So this is the history, and I put it on logarithmic so you can see all of the price data, because a linear scale you just wouldn't really be able to see what's going on. And by the way, let me just quickly check my live and make sure. Can you guys see the candlesticks? This white color is fine. Awesome, Ben. We're glad to have you as part of the VIP group and excited to have you learning with us. Good to see you joined. Let's see. So can you guys see fine with the colors of the candlesticks that I'm using, the white and the black? This is easy visualizing for you. I just want to make sure everybody can hear and understand clearly. Awesome, awesome. Okay, yeah, you guys keep me updated if I need to do anything. I don't like to be streaming unless everything's tip-top shape, so cool. All right, yeah, so this is the Bitcoin price data from a penny on to today, and it's pretty awesome. But let's go back to the XBT USD chart so we can actually get some TA going here, because I know you guys want to know where the hell your coins are going, whether they're dumping or pumping or everything in between. So let's just switch back to a linear chart and switch back to daily candlesticks to start with, and then get into some TA. So, starting with daily candlesticks, I'm going to start drawing falling wedge patterns, because we've been fractaling a falling wedge pattern since the beginning of the year. So, this is fractal 1. Oops. Fractal 1. Awesome. And then now let's go to fractal 2. Right here to here. And here to here. So I'm finding falling wedge patterns. I'm identifying them as fractals, or a pattern of similarity is one simpler way to look at it. If you don't know what a fractal is, you could do a little bit of Googling. Okay. Just want to make sure my bottom line is drawn correctly here. And then let's just take this, let's pull down a little bit, and then I'm going to identify this as fractal 3. So, again, a fractal in extremely simple terms is just a pattern of similarity that's repeating. It can be different sizes, it can expand in size, it can decrease in size. It doesn't really matter as long as it's a similarity that's repeating itself. Now, these are extremely useful because you can find how to perceive current prices or the future of current prices based on the way it's reacted significantly in the past. So, falling wedge pattern is a bullish consolidation pattern. It's falling while it's consolidating, so that means while it's making the pattern, it's dropping. So it doesn't mean it's bullish while it's happening. Some people, when I say that, they get confused and they're like, that's not bullish, it went from 20,000 down to 6. I'm not saying that the movement was bullish, I'm saying the outcome will be. So what's happening here is we have a squeezing of sellers. There was a large body of sellers here. So in the first fractal, there was a very large body of sellers. Okay? Now, in the second fractal, does it look like there's as many? No, there's a medium body of sellers. Okay? And then the final fractal, there's a small body of sellers. So, what does this mean? What does this mean for the price action? What can you guys expect? Are we going to have another low below 6,000? No. Again, I put this as very unlikely for us to have another low at 6,000 or below 6,000. And again, you guys remember, between 8 and 6,000, I was telling people to buy. And again, back at 6,400, I was telling people to buy. And all along previous bull run, I've been telling all of my friends to buy since under $200, but that doesn't count because it wasn't on my channel, right? I started making videos in 2016 and told people to start investing. I uploaded once a week through 2016, and nobody watched my channel because nobody cared about cryptocurrency, right? But I've been telling people to invest in this for a long time. So there's definitely credibility in the patterns that I've seen and how they react. And you can ask any of my VIPs, you can ask anybody that watches my channel. You can make money off trading market cycles and using the tools that I teach. So if we're having a smaller and smaller body of seller, and the fractal is getting tinier and tinier and tinier, this is about to explode. I would like to point out that on BitMEX, as you can see, we have volume on the bottom here. If you hover your mouse over each spike, you'll get to see how much volume there is in each spike. Right here we have a $2.2 billion volume spike. Look at the volume that we're getting now. 5.7 billion, 3.6 billion, 5.8 billion, 4.7 billion. So we're just having these huge volume spikes. And prices are dropping. So what's happening when prices drop and volume increases? This is getting heavily accumulated. People are buying the dip. If this wasn't going to keep going up, the volume spikes would have been early on. The real volume spikes would have been back in 2017, early 2017. If this trend was going to do a full retracement below 6,000 and to 3 or 1 or whatever people are calling that don't really understand technical analysis, it would have had a ginormous volume spike early on in 2017 and had decreasing volume near the top and continually decreasing volume as it dropped. But instead, we have increasing volume as prices drop. So that means that there's more interest in cryptocurrency now. Institutional investors are getting in. And they needed the price to drop to get in because they didn't want to buy too high. So it works out perfectly for them. So as we have the fractal and the amount of body of sellers get less and less, there's less bearish people in Bitcoin now than there was at the beginning of the year, because more people are starting to realize, especially the altcoins, don't really have anywhere to go but up. If you look at their charts, and Bitcoin's a little more tricky, but once you understand market cycles, you can see it too, that Bitcoin doesn't have anywhere to go but up from here. But if you look at the altcoin market cycles, they're so fire right now. They're literally just picture perfect Wall Street cheat sheet market cycles. Every single one has bottomed out and has started to break out on the upside. And we'll get into the altcoin technical analysis here in a second when I'm done doing Bitcoin TA. But the point of the matter is that this is an accumulation zone. Anybody that understands trading opportunities, especially big picture trading opportunities, is heavily accumulating this dip right now. Institutional investors, they used the futures and they used that to create a snowball effect of FUD. And at the start, they really had people going. You know, they had a large body of people that believed everything they were saying, from 20,000 down to 6. And now they have a little bit more people going, and now they have even less people convinced. So let me show you one more example of a fractal that I used to call the bottom at 6,400. So you can see and understand why the fractal works, how you can find a smaller and smaller and smaller body of sellers and use that and apply that to your TA. So let's just go here. I've got some private charts here. So let me just scroll back between these private charts. You guys, I really recommend that you do private technical analysis. Post a lot of TA for yourself. Post TA for other people too. But just be aware of all possibilities, all outcomes, and post technical analysis, even if it's not publicly. People call it paper trading, right? the more TA that you continue to post on your own, the higher your accuracy is going to go up. And it just, it helps give you a reason to practice. It's important to practice this stuff. It's like learning the piano. Like, I've been playing piano since I was 8 years old. It's just patterns. Like, trading isn't really all that about math. People that are really like super extremely logical for some reason think that they'd be like really good traders, and some of them are, but trading is a very visual patternistic thing. It's understanding human emotion, and it's understanding patterns. It's not about, there's a lot of technical aspects to it, but you don't have to know algebra, right? You just have to know how to recognize certain things, and then you have to know how to practice trading every single day so you get good. Or investing, or just technical analysis in general. And again, the premise of my channel is to make it easier for people, the average person, to learn technical analysis. That's why I made this channel. It's because I want the average person to be able to invest without having to go through a hedge fund that's going to take a large percentage of their investment. I want to decentralize investing, essentially. Make it so everybody can do it. So that's why I made this channel, right? Now here is another example of a fractal that I used. And this is when Bitcoin was at 6587, okay? Now I said sellers keep trying but are weak. Do you notice how it shrinks? There's a huge falling wedge at the start, smaller one, smaller one, smaller one. Okay, now let me just copy this, and I'll just paste this and share it to everybody. Thanks, Isaac. I appreciate that. I love you for tuning in today. So, again, we can relate this fractal to this one. So here's this one. Now let's go back to this one. Now I'm going to press the play button and watch what happens here. Bam. It played out literally perfectly. The price that I posted this on, April 6th, was the exact bottom of the entire market for the past 22 days. Or no, actually it's been about like 40 days or something. Whatever. Since April 6th. I don't want to try to see what I mean. I'm not the best with math. I just can see these patterns. So that was an example of me using fractal analysis and seeing the smaller and smaller body of sellers to predict the market. So that's what I'm applying here again. The fractal's a little bit different looking. We have a new player in the game, a new little body of sellers here. And since that breakout, we can identify this as a full falling wedge right here. But the concept is still the same, and it still applies perfectly fine. So what I'm saying is, I don't believe that Bitcoin will break below 7,800 per coin. I really don't. Now, it could easily do a shakeout. Anything's possible. I've always been, if you watch any of my videos, I always say anything is possible. But technical analysis isn't a game of certainty, it's a game of probability. And in this case, the probabilities highly favor another breakout. Okay? So, I expect Bitcoin to make a three-wave. I'm going to remove, oops, that was my bad there. You don't ever want to remove all your indicators with one button, but sometimes it is useful to press remove and then all drawing tools. So, Bitcoin is going to start a three-wave. It already did an ABC correction, and now it needs to start a three-wave next. So here's the ABC, down, and a 1-2. And it needs to do a three-wave. Now, I'm not going to give you targets for any of this, because that's content that I provide for my VIP members, which are paying members, and they get signals weekly where I upload usually like a 15-minute video where I go over all of the requested signals that people want me to do. I update signals that I've already posted on, and I just tell people where to put their money, right? Where is the best probability to put their money so that they're making money? So I'm not going to give you exact targets on this three-wave, but understand that three waves are big and impulsive, so it's going to be above the one wave, right? And significantly above it. Now, again, not going to give exact targets, but that means that we're going to have bullish movement towards July and, through the summer. So once this falling wedge pattern breaks out, I really think it's going to go in for one tiny, tiny low on the smaller time frames to like 7,800 and then break out again. But once this happens, then we'll go for that 3-wave, and we'll have bullish movement, I believe, until at least August, where we might hit some resistance again and sell off a little bit. Right? Now, there won't be a correction that was as bloody as this one right here. This correction was very bloody, and shout out, bring your hands up high if you made it through the correction alive and you're still believing in cryptocurrency. Shout out. Because you people, the people that stick through it and try to learn something and try to understand that, hey, maybe you did make a mistake by not taking enough profits, and take blame for your own actions and try to learn from it, you people are the people that get rewarded heavily because of cryptocurrency, because you're willing to learn from it. If you buy the top of a market, or if you get in at the wrong time, you're willing to be like, okay, I made a mistake, I didn't take enough profits. Though the people that are willing to learn from this are the people that will have a lifetime worth of investing. Because there might even be more bubbles or overvaluation hype cycles, is what I like to call them, down the road. Who knows? Maybe cryptocurrency is the first of many industrial mini revolutions that happen across the world over my lifetime. Maybe we have 2 or 3 of these little things happen. It's only been 10 years since the internet bubble. Well, 20 years basically, actually. Wow, time flies. But either way, 20 years, that's, I feel like there's going to be more mini revolutions of different things all over the world. So I really think that if you take the time to learn from all of this in cryptocurrency, you might have even more opportunities down the road that you see for investing. But you won't have those opportunities if you aren't willing to learn from a sell-off or learn from your own mistakes or not taking enough profit, right? And again, that's why I created my channel, so you can all learn from this. But so all of you people that made it through the sell-off, shout out, because you will get rewarded, and you probably are getting rewarded already by listening and changing your trading plans and holding for longer term and not trying to day trade in and out in small time frames. I've talked about that a little bit, but day trading just works with bad probabilities in a nutshell. So that's my price predictions for Bitcoin. We're going to go up. The bottom is relatively soon. No reason to be selling here. I did have this. My primary prediction was that we were going to go for 11,000 because I didn't expect the first wave to turn around this quickly. But again, trading isn't a game of certainty. It's a game of working with probability. So let me hop over to my Twitter and I'll show you the prediction, the alternative prediction that I made. More lemonade, cheers. All right, so yeah. Oops, yeah, I think it's this one. I don't really day trade, Spacehead. I have before with semi-good success. Like, I don't really have a problem day trading, but it's usually more like I buy and then either that day I sell again or a day or 2 later I sell again. But I like to focus on 2 or 3 month setups, or sometimes like 1 to 2 month setups, but mainly big picture moves. And it's just because you can work with lots of probabilities and get highly accurate to where you basically never lose. You might have 1 or 2 little mistakes, but 90% of your trades are winning trades because you average into high panic and average out of high greed. So there's no stress on trying to get the perfect trade or get in and out at the perfect time. And the problem with day trading is you have algorithms fighting you. So that means that there's a bunch of computers all over the world and programmers building algorithms that are trying to outsmart you. So if you want to battle with 1 million algorithms, go for it, but most people just cannot do it. And I've had some success doing it, but I will say that it's stressful and it's not worth the energy. I get way more percentage gain and value out of my time doing 2 to 3 month setups. And I just have to hop on my computer, do a little bit of TA, adjust some trades, and then I sell a few months later. It's not like I have to sit there and make my eyes have circles under them because I'm trying to predict every single swing in a market. So don't put too much pressure on yourself. Avoid day trading. Again, it's a game of probabilities, so you want to work with what's easily understandable. And when you zoom out of any market cycle in history, 2 to 3 month setups, and in the stock world, it's a few year setups usually, like 3 to 4 year setups, you just can't really mess up. You can make those trades and make a lot of money off those trades. So, Yeah, of course the market's changed since 2017. Low cap altcoins and a lot of altcoins are starting to really pop off. That's just because of the fact that Bitcoin is losing dominance. That doesn't mean that it's not king anymore, and I still hold the majority of my cryptocurrency in Bitcoin, both in my long-term and in my day trading, well, not my day trading, but my short-term account. So my long-term account is just investing. I buy, hold, never touch. My short-term account is 2 to 3 month trades, okay? Just to clarify that so you understand. But I still hold majority in Bitcoin in both of those. Bitcoin and US dollar tether, or USD in my bank account. But US dollar tether and Bitcoin are very stable compared to altcoins. And it's important to hold majority in them because they have the best track record. It's like the stock market. Again, you hold the most in the S&P 500 because go beat the S&P 500. I can, and a lot of people can, but the point is that you hold the majority in it because it's working with good probabilities, low risk, solid reward, and you know it's going to work out in your favor. So, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Work with what's easy. Be smart, not work smart, not hard. But here's the prediction on Bitcoin of how I predicted that this was an alternative. This is called an expanded flat correction. So the reason that this tricks people is because it pretends that it's going to break out. At the price of 9,700, we rejected and then came back down to 87. And then we made a new high to almost 10,000, not quite 10,000, but almost to 10,000. And then we rejected again, okay? Now, when it breaks out to a new high, everybody's like, oh, we're full-fledged bull again. We're going to go for 11,000, right? And that's okay because actually when you have a breakout in a bull run, it's okay to work with that probability. But it's also important to understand that both outcomes can happen. So I saw some bearish divergence. I saw that there was a little bit of a falling or a rising wedge fractal right here and here. And I'll just drop this chart in the stream too so you guys can look over it and see what's up. I see this little rising wedge. So this was an alternative, that it was an expanded flat, meaning that the B wave went above the 5 wave, causing a false breakout when really it's going to go lower. So if we press play here, my alternative prediction played out very nicely. We're making the C leg currently, and we're just finding the bottom of that C leg. And again, I expect it to be between support here at the 4 wave. And again, that's just below 8,000 that I'm expecting support to be holding. So for Bitcoin. So yeah, that's the awareness thing. That's using both outcomes. This way, if it starts dropping, you don't panic sell. Why would you panic sell? You just know that it's another pathway to the same destination. So you understand that, okay, it might go down right now, but down the road, after this C wave, it's going to go up and even harder because now there's been more time for people to accumulate. So the big players that are thinking big picture and buying and buying and buying and buying all this panic, they have more time to accumulate. So when it does take off, it'll take off even harder. So this was the alternative. It played out. It's good though. It's good. It's not a bad thing to have it not do what you're expecting. In fact, it's a good thing to be making predictions and then some of them not to go as planned. That's really important. So, 001 Rain, I learned most of this just scouring the internet. I've been doing it since 2015, investing in Bitcoin. I bought my first Bitcoin under 200. I've talked about that before. But I also didn't really know what I was doing that whole time. So it's not like I got super rich until, well, it's not like I got wealthy until 2017 came around when the real hype started happening, right? So I learned all of this because I did it every single day. Even my parents were telling me to get a job every single day, and I wasn't producing enough money out of this through 2016 to do it full time, right? And so everybody is telling me to do something that I don't want to do, but I stuck with it, and I decided that this was my thing. And I kept doing it, and I kept doing it, and I kept doing it. And my dad would always be like, Dallin, you need to get a job, you need a good job. But bless his heart, he just was trying to do the right thing for me. So I'm not mad at him for it. I obviously he was honestly just trying to help me and go the right direction in life. But I told him no. I mean, I tried a little bit, and then multiple people wouldn't hire me, so then I gave up. I was like, this is retarded. Like, if I don't really like working for other people anyways. So I just decided that this was what I was going to do. So I started looking on the internet and started learning what I can learn. And then people from I created a chat group, right, which we've decided to move to an internet forum now. But there's this, the chat group that I created was what really people would point me in the right direction in there. They would be like, hey, this is what you need to do. This will help you in here. So really my own channel helped me learn a lot of what I've learned, to be honest with you. So it was kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Once I started heading in the right direction, everybody helped push me to get there. So yeah, I learned all of this because I care about it. And if you want to learn it too, I just recommend watching my videos. Go check out my website if you'd like. It's in the description of this stream. You can go look at it, research into it. And just, be honest and open-minded with yourself and practice every day. Even if it's 30 minutes or an hour, just come on here, do a little bit of TA and practice, care about it, and decide that this could be a goal that really makes something true for you, because that's what happened to me. I do this because I love it. I love it because it worked for me and because I had a vision of it working for me and I stuck with it. And some of that was that I hit a kind of a low point in my life, obviously. My dad was telling me to get a job. I was literally living in a little wooden shack outside of their house because they didn't appreciate the way that I was behaving and they didn't appreciate my attitude and they were trying to teach me some tough love, right? So I was literally living outside of their house in like this teeny little wooden shack in the dead of winter in Utah where it gets in the negatives. So I was in a really low point in my life. This was all, end of 2016, beginning of 2017. I was into Bitcoin since 2015, but I didn't have enough money to sustain existence, in the real world. And also I was pretty scared because I'm pretty young. Currently I'm 21. I turned 21 a few days ago, May 17th. But at the time I was 19, just had, was trying to just figure out my life and where I was going. And so I was at a really low point. So that helped push me. That helped me be like, okay, this is all or nothing. I got to learn this or not. But you don't have to be in that state of mind to actually do it. You don't have to be that low to push yourself. That's just my story personally. And everybody has their own story. But, I believe that everybody can do this. And again, that was the premise of my channel. At the beginning of the stream, I told you guys, I want to bring the knowledge to the basic investor or the basic retail investor or person so that they can invest without having to go through hedge funds, without having to have a lot of money, without having to be, it doesn't matter what age you are, what you look like, who you're friends with, none of that matters. I just want to bring it to everybody, because I have been benefited from this knowledge myself. And the amount of stress in my life has been reduced to such a minimal amount that obviously life is still stressful, but compared to what I was a year and a half ago, I want to have other people in the same state of mind as me, because I know that I'm helping the world when I'm in this place. And I know that the world can be at a better place if more people are too. So, yeah, this is why I changed my nickname on Twitter to Dallin Hood, because people on my channel were telling me that I'm like Robin Hood and I find the secrets from the rich and feed them to the poor. So that's my little nickname on here. And also the hat helps too. I've had it through the whole experience of my YouTube channel. I've been wearing fedoras. Not every single video, but when you catch me with one on, I'm talking business. So anyways, let's get into altcoin requests. Enough about my story. Let's get into altcoin requests. Yeah, I had an ABC correction with my entire life, and now I'm having my first bullish market cycle. Oh, so you're looking for the discount? Let me add that to the description real quick, you guys. Again, this is the discount code, active20. If you use this on my website, you'll get 20% off on my VIP if that's something you're interested in. I don't like to force sell things onto people. I want to have you have the desire to do that. So there's a discount if you're interested. Go check it out, get a feel for it, and make a decision for you. So ICX, let's start off with ICX. And thank you all so much for your positivity. This is why I keep pushing myself every single day and making these videos for you and doing these live streams and making my from start to finish technical analysis videos, because I love to help the world and have them help me back. ICX. Icon dollar. Remove all drawing tools. Now, 12 hours. Pull down a little bit. And let's just look at what's going on here. Now, for somebody that's new to this, excuse me, slipped up on my words there. This chart might be a little bit confusing, right? Because you just see this huge pump and then this dump, and you're like, oh no, what does this mean? Is it going to keep going down? Is it going to keep going up? How do I know? What tools can I use to figure this out? And it's really overwhelming, right? I like to break it down into market cycles and Elliott waves and fractals, and then I use Fibonacci and rounded numbers to find my targets. And that's basically that's my technical analysis in a nutshell. So I'll start with the market cycle. The market cycle is a wave of buying and a wave of selling in simple terms. So let's get up the Wall Street cheat sheet, the one that I was talking about a second ago, Wall Street cheat sheet. By the way, I've got this plugin for my Chrome. It's called Animated Tabs, and it just gives me GIFs every single time I open a new tab. It's actually funny. It's pretty cool to have it. All right, so let's click on this right here. This is just a chart that shows the cycle of emotions involved in a market cycle, from when it goes from being undervalued to overvalued to back being undervalued. The buying, selling, the whole phase of euphoria, hope, complacency, panic, capitulation, anger, depression, disbelief. Excuse me again, I'm sorry you guys. It's all that pink lemonade. So that's the cycle of emotions, right? So let's look at this chart right here and see if we can see any similarities. Right here on the left, right here on the right. So yeah, they look pretty similar, right? They look like they have a lot of similarities. So this is I'll just go with the very basic ones: hope, euphoria, complacency, anger, and depression. So over here, this is hope. This is euphoria. You find euphoria at the top of the market. This is when everybody's like, yay, we're all geniuses, we're all millionaires, we're making so much money, we told all our friends to buy. So again, trading is just emotions, so just apply that to your thinking. And then you have complacency. Oops, not trying to switch charts. I'll just say comp, since I don't have time to type each little thing out for each altcoin that we're doing TA on. And then panic. And then the very bottom of the market cycle is between anger and depression. So I would say anger is down here when you hit $2.64. It's when people were like, what? I thought I was supposed to be rich off this. Now I can't pay my monthly bills. They're pissed, right? And then you have depression right here. And this is where everybody's like, I don't know if I really want to do this. I think that I'm done trading. I wish that life was easier. And, and they're all depressed and sad, right? So that's, for Icon, this was $1.96. Now right here, what do you think's happening right here on the right side? It's disbelief. It's disbelief. Okay, right here, disbelief. So what happens when a complete market cycle finishes? Well, it's time for a new cycle. So, since this has plenty of volume to start a new cycle, you're in the millions daily, or on the 12-hour, you have millions of dollars in volume. You can also head over to coinmarketcap.com and kind of get a gauge how much volume it's been doing all month. This is one of the top volume traded coins. It also has a lot of hype. This one is one that I do hold in my personal Binance account. So it is time for a new market cycle on Icon. And this is just the little sell-off, the disbelief sell-off right here. Usually this disbelief sell-off comes back and tests the top, kind of where the capitulation and anger happened. So it is doing that. It's testing where the anger and the capitulation happened. So the bottom for Icon should be in pretty soon here of this wave, and we'll start going back on the upside. And again, we'll be bullish. When Bitcoin's going up, all these altcoins go up too. They follow Bitcoin. I call it the mothership. And so you can expect them to follow along with it. So that's my Icon TA. We'll be headed back up above $4.82, and just got to let it kind of turn around, finish the market cycle right here, finish the disbelief sell-off, and continue going up. Now, let's do some GRS. GRS. Okay, let me remove all drawing tools. This one, again, look at this. This is the same story. You have all this hype, the hope. Here's the euphoria at the top. Then you have complacency right here, where everybody thinks it's going to return to normal and keep going up, but it doesn't. And then you have anger right here. And then you have depression right here. And right when everybody's depressed is when it's time to be buying. And that's usually where it falls back onto the lowest form of support, like it did here with GRS. Grossel, I believe. I don't know how to pronounce all of these coins. I really don't care about the fundamentals or what they do. I care about volume and price action and market cycles. It's way more important than the actual technology behind it, unless you're doing long-term investing. Because a lot of people, when I tell them that, they're like, yeah, but what about what about this, and this? And I'm like, okay, that's all long-term stuff. Use that to help your long-term idea, but don't make buy or sell based on technology, because technology doesn't control the price, human emotion does. So, okay. Now, this finished the complete market cycle. We've bounced up out, and we're having that sell back down here. So again, this is right with the rest of the market. We're expecting this to kind of hold to the right here. It might go down for 88 cents or kind of go sideways along this area, but this trend will continue on the upside. As far as the Elliott waves go, this one did a very, very tiny one wave. This happens a lot. And then you have a little 3 wave right here, the 5 wave right here, and then the A and the B came right up close to it, and then the C all the way back down. So with altcoins, generally you find that they retrace back down 88% of their market cycle. So they go all the way back down to where they started pumping at, where the market cycle started. And that's exactly what happened here. So again, we can just take our Fibonacci tool and go from the low to the high. And you can see it bounced off the 0.88%. So that's a really good spot to be buying with altcoins. Bitcoin is more mature, has more liquidity, more traders, and a lot more institutions buying it. So generally it doesn't retrace all the way down. It doesn't do 88% corrections. It does correct pretty hard, but it bounced off the 618 this time, and I believe that's where it's going to hold on its major trend. So, all right, now let's check into some other coins. Let's see. ADA, yes, we can go over ADA. This was one of those coins that just went so crazy in the last cycle. I just remember coming on coinmarketcap.com one day, and I get on and, you know, I just come sit down, hanging out, looking around, and I sit there and I see this coin that's like on the second or third page, and it's called ADA Cardano. And then like all of a sudden, like it was like 2 days later, it was like in the top 10 total market cap. And this coin just like, and I bought some of it. I was able to ride a lot of the cycle, but this coin just exploded. Like I remember I was talking with my girlfriend, and like she put some money into it, and literally she put her life savings into ADA, and literally within like 24 hours of her doing that, she made 400% on her on her life savings. And so, you know, she got a very good first taste of what cryptocurrency is and what trading is. It was just hilarious because I had just barely started talking with her at the time, and she just like trusted that it was a good idea. So she just like took a gamble. Well, not necessarily a gamble. She was working with good odds, but she was definitely a lot riskier than I would be. I don't ever recommend doing that, but I wasn't going to tell her no. So, you know, that's just a little story for you. Do not do that, okay? That does not make it okay at all for you to do, I promise you. No, for real though, you guys. I honestly recommend only trading with money that you cannot afford to lose, because it's just not smart if something does happen. Okay. All right. So I can't get the full, let's see. I'm trying to get the full chart here, but I forget that it's on Bittrex that you can do that. Okay, here we go. Let me just remove all drawing tools here. Now with ADA, we have a very rounded bottom here. I would do TA on the dollar chart for this one. I like to do that because the accuracy seems to be better, but there's just like this, I don't really like to, just because with this one specifically, just because you only get like half the price history. It starts like right here. So the chart looks a little funky. So I do it on the Bitcoin chart, even though it is a little bit less accurate. I can still get what I need done. Here's another example of a falling wedge pattern. That's one that popped right out on ADA. Looks like we could be forming another one currently as we speak. Connecting support and connecting resistance lines. Looks like we are making another little falling wedge pattern. So again, back to those fractals, a big one, a smaller one. The MACD is curling onto the center after being very oversold. The volume is accumulation mode. If you check on coinmarketcap.com for this one, it's in the top monthly volume rankings. So it has plenty sufficient volume for a cycle. And I do expect this to start impulsing very nicely on the upside after it breaks out of this little sell-off, this resistance. Once Bitcoin starts heading up, everything's going to follow right behind it. So we're just kind of letting Bitcoin find support just under 8,000 and start going back up. So yeah, ADA is looking really bullish, you guys. Let's see. Let's see. Nano and Ardor. Okay. Hey, please stop spamming. I'm not going to do your request if you spam it 10 million times. I'm actually going to be less likely to do your request just because I like to let everybody have their say in what they want us to do TA on. So yeah, we'll do Nano and Ardor. Nano is another one that I hold in my personal Bittrex, and another one that for some reason we just cannot do TA on the dollar with. I don't know if TradingView just wants to keep these coins like secret or hard to do TA on, because they literally have the dollar charts for every single other coin. They have calculatable dollar charts for them. So I really don't know what's wrong with TradingView for not having it on these ones, but whatever. Okay, so let me just go like this and connect resistance and support. Again, this looks like to be another falling wedge. I'm expecting support to be holding. It will probably make a little bit of a new low on the Bitcoin chart here. But if we go to the coin market cap chart and look at the full market cycle, because you can actually get the price data on the dollar here, but you just can't draw on it and do TA like you can on TradingView. So that's a little bit annoying, but you can still get a pretty good idea of what's going on. So let's scroll down to Nano. It is 32nd in market capitalization. And then you can see the full market cycle right here once it loads. Oops, that's just the Bitcoin one. Let me switch to the dollar. Yeah, here we go. Here's the dollar. So yeah, this one is literally making its final low in its cycle. I really, really like this coin. It had a huge first wave, so I'm expecting the 3-wave to be very exciting. And, you know, again, looking at this chart, we look to be like in the depression phase of its market cycle, finishing those lows, bottoming out, making final, you know, sell-offs where everybody's out of the market. They're all like, no, I don't trust this anymore. I don't like it. All the noobs have panic sold, so it's ready to turn around. Yeah, and my first purchase on Nano was right here, nearing this bottom at $7. Then we had a nice bounce. So I sold some of it off, like 50% of it off, and then started accumulating more here. We had a bounce, sold 25% of it off, and now I've been accumulating a little bit more again. So that's, again, just averaging in, averaging out, and trying to get the best entry. And still, I made profit off both of these buys, even though it made new lows. So it's an accumulation process. It's playing the cycle and understanding the risk and the reward of all of it. So yeah, Nano's looking good though. It is in the depression phase, which is why it's so low and why it's been panicking so hard. But this coin isn't dead. It's doing very good volume. So don't panic sell for sure. All right, and then ARDR was the next one. ARDOR, I believe. This one definitely is in the same phase of that market cycle, you guys. All the way back down and then in the depression phase of the cycle. Came in, the anger was right here. And then you made that new low, which made that depression right here. And then you have the first little bounce. So that was the suckers rally. And then now we're ready to do some serious movement on the upside for this one too. So this is all just first wave movement. So the next wave will be a 3-wave. And 3 waves are more impulsive than 1 waves. So it will be bigger than the first cycle. This is why I'm so bullish on cryptocurrency, you guys. All of these 3 waves need to be coming in. All of these are starting new cycles after these huge, huge sell-offs and huge run-ups, by the way, too. So that the magnitude and the momentum that's being accumulated and built up since the beginning of the year. Everybody in the cryptocurrency space has been mad about the sell-off or like frustrated about the fact that the price went down. But the amount of momentum that is being built up because the price has dropped is actually amazing. What it's going to do, it's going to make a lot of people very wealthy again. And due to that momentum, it will be even a bigger run-up than it could have been if we would have just kept going up when we did. You can only sustain that type of growth for so long. Once something starts rallying, it can only rally for so long, right? There's only so many people in the world, right? So there's a certain point where everybody's been told, or a lot of people that are interested enough in doing something about it have been told, and all their friends bought, and then all their friends' friends bought, and there's no way to sustain it anymore. You know, there's no way to sustain it. So, it's actually good that it comes back down and crashes, because then it can build the momentum to do more growth, more real growth, long-term sustainable but short-term unsustainable growth. Because I believe that cryptocurrency long-term is a very, very sustainable growth curve. And that's just what I understand about trends. You can apply it very thoroughly to crypto and see that something is happening here. There's a reason that all the biggest traders in the world are hopping on this right now. And Goldman Sachs is opening trading desks. You know, this isn't taken lightly anymore. It's a very serious thing. So, I mean, it should still be treated like a game in your eyes when you're trying to learn it. Don't put too much stress on yourself. Just try to have fun. Treat it, you know, like that. But just understand that people in the real world are taking this seriously and not just as a joke or a bubble. It's the exact same thing that happened with the internet. Real development happened. The hype helped create the hype and the development. And then when the crash happens, real development happens, and then prices keep going up. You know, a lot of internet stocks are 6,000% higher than they were at the top of their peak in the bubble. So, or the overvaluation again. I like to call it overvaluation rather than a bubble, but most people understand the term from a bubble term because that's what they hear all over the media and news. So, all right. So, VeChain. Let me check actually some of these questions before I keep going. LTC. EOS. Yes, I can do EOS. Hey, thanks, Andreas. I'm glad that you're learning. And you'll be able to afford the course this summer. So yeah, we'll get into EOS. Love your show. Okay. So EOS, you guys, this one is like, if this isn't on your radar, then I really don't know what is. If EOS is not on your radar, I do not know what is, I repeat. Because if you take a look at this thing and then you go into trade volume and then you do monthly volume rankings and then you pop down and you see what's happening here, you see that EOS did $59 billion in monthly volume. Ethereum did $82 billion in monthly volume. US dollar Tether did $108 billion in monthly volume. I believe this is because whales are taking Tether that they took away during the overvaluation and buying back in right now, which is why Tether has so much volume. So EOS is number 4 in total volume. That's amazing. That's seriously so impressive. Bitcoin Cash is just under that with $32 billion. But that's actually half of the volume that EOS is doing. So EOS is way better as far as investment goes currently than Bitcoin Cash, in my opinion, due to volume and technical perspective. I'm not the biggest fan of Bitcoin Cash either, but I don't hold biased opinions about certain coins. So I do hold Bitcoin Cash. And the reason is because there is a good setup for upside potential, even though I don't necessarily, worship the project. I really don't have the best. I don't like the project or what it's doing, but I trade. So I'm going to trade a setup, whether I care about the project or who's making it or not. And that's just the truth. So yeah, Bitcoin did $213 billion, but EOS being this high on that list is a very, very good thing, you guys. That's a great sign for what EOS can do over the next little while as far as price action goes. All right, so it started its 3 wave. It already broke out for its first high. This is the 1 wave. So it's going to do a 3 of the 3 soon. And I'm expecting it to break significantly above $23. Again, I can't give exact targets due to the fact that that's VIP content only. But I can tell you that this is going to break above this and we're going to have a nice little rally for EOS. And it's ahead of the entire market. It's basically Binance Coin and EOS were some of the first to start breaking out. So they have a lot of upside growth potential from here to go. And they're some of the first ones to start taking off along with Bitcoin. So yeah, this one is doing very well, you guys. For the EOS holders out there, you should be extremely happy to know my technical analysis is bullish. And it's not just a little bullish, it's a lot bullish. So, all right. Yeah, I know, Isaac. It is literally the same exact pattern over and over and over. Okay, we'll do one more coin here. I'll run over my VIP and how you can go check it out and apply the coupon code if you're interested. And then we'll finish up. So, all right, let's do Civic. We'll do Civic as our final coin here. Civic dollar. And 3 hour. Perfect. Oops, 3 hours too small, actually. 12 hour maybe? Yeah, 12 hours better. All right, so this one's just accumulation, 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 accumulation. It has cycles up and down along the way, but this one is just being so heavily accumulated. It hit depression right here at 19 cents, so we've already hit the bottom of the cycle, and again, that's the capitulation right here. The bull trap right here, the complacency, the anger, the capitulation, and then the depression, and then the sucker rally and the first sell-off. So we're ready to do a new bullish market cycle. We have a falling wedge pattern here as well for Civic coming down like this. If we do the monthly volume rankings, I believe Civic is actually on this list for monthly volume, along with its main competitor, which is Monaco. Yeah, Civic is 124th in monthly volume at $217 million this month. So we're doing completely fine as far as volume necessary for a market cycle goes. And I'm expecting this to start trending upwards along with the rest of the market as we head into the summer. So yeah, it's looking amazing, you guys. Now let's go over to my website. This is highaltitudecrypto.io. This is how you get to my website. This is where we moved the Discord to for people that were wondering. A lot of people, I got 99% of my users migrated from the Discord over to my new platform, which is a forum on my website. But there's still a small percentage that aren't migrated, so email me if you need to. The email's in my video description, but it's just highaltitudeinvesting@gmail.com. You can click on the shop here. You can buy the TradingView course if you're just a very, very beginner and you just want the absolute basics. The TradingView course is a great initiation into this. It's $99. You can apply this coupon code. Then we have the 1-year subscription is the other option, the other alternative if you're a beginner. And a lifetime if you want to get this content for the rest of your life. But basically, if you click on the main page here and scroll down, you can see what's in the actual course. I have details, I have exclusive videos, I have a forum where people can engage in my content, and you can see the difference between the lifetime, the mastermind, and the 1 year here with all of my educational videos, my training videos, and then, questions that you can ask me in the forum. But the mastermind is really what I'm trying to fill up right now, you guys. So the mastermind is an amazing way for you to tune in live. If you like this live setting, and you want to be even a little bit more personal and ask me direct questions and get really down and dirty with learning the mastermind is exactly what you need. And it starts at $4,999. And I know a lot of people hear that and they're like, whoa, that's like, what? Why would I need that? But if you've ever felt like you need to produce more value in cryptocurrency, but you're putting so much in that you're just not getting out what you feel like the energy and the money that you've put into it, then this is really for you. Because what this does is you can follow my exact trades. I have a mastermind portfolio, meaning that I have an account that I've created where you can literally see every single Saturday exactly what coins I'm holding, exactly when I sell, exactly what percentages I'm holding them at. And I teach, and I just go over all of this stuff from the basics. I teach the Elliott waves, and I answer your questions. It's very small, too. It's a small group, so there's not a lot of room in this left, and it does fill up quickly, actually. So get on this while you can. But the point is that it's really the best way for you to get learning this and get into cryptocurrency. If you do feel like you're not getting your value out of crypto, you're not getting back what you're putting in. You know, if you feel like you're spending thousands of dollars on coins and then not making the profit you desire, then I stand by this product and tell you that this is the solution for it. So go check that out if you're interested. And again, the coupon code does apply for that as well. So thank you all so much for tuning in today's mastermind. I'm used to saying that on these live streams. Thank you so much for tuning in today's stream. I hope that you all learned something, and I hope that you can continue to learn from my content, my free content, and potentially the paid content if you like. And yeah, I hope you're all staying profitable out there, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.